the world of work, a jungle of ambition, competition, and the relentless pursuit of success. We are told that hard work, talent, and determination are the keys to the kingdom, that we live in a meritocracy where the cream rises to the top and those who deserve to succeed will. But is it really that simple? Look closer, my friend, and you'll find the ground beneath this seemingly level playing field is not as firm as it appears. It is riddled with hidden pitfalls, secret passages, and treacherous quicksand ready to swallow up even the most talented and hard-working individuals. This is the uncomfortable truth about the modern workforce. It's not always about what you know, but who you know. It's not always about merit, but about privilege. We cling to the idea of meritocracy like a life raft in a stormy sea. It offers us a sense of hope, a belief that our efforts will be rewarded, that the game is, at its core, fair. But what happens when the rules are rigged? What happens when the ladder of success is leaning against the wrong wall? This is the journey we are about to embark on, a journey to uncover the truth about meritocracy in the modern workforce. A journey that will challenge your assumptions, expose uncomfortable realities, and empower you with the knowledge and strategies you need to navigate this complex landscape and build a successful career on a foundation of true merit. Let's begin by shining a light on this elusive concept, meritocracy, a word that dances on the tongues of politicians, CEOs, and motivational speakers alike. But what does it truly mean? At its core, meritocracy is an ideal where success is determined by one's merit. Imagine a society where individuals are judged by their character and talent. The promise of meritocracy is fairness and equal opportunity. It is a tantalizing vision, is it not? A world where everyone has a fair shot at success. But reality is often more complex and messy. Yet the pursuit of meritocracy remains a noble endeavor. In striving for this ideal, we push ourselves to be better and fairer. The hiring process. That intricate dance between eager applicants and discerning employers, each vying for a mutually beneficial match. We're told it's a meritocratic system, a level playing field where the best candidate, the one with the most impressive skills and experience, rises to the top. But is that truly the case, or are we chasing a shimmering mirage, a tantalizing illusion that evaporates upon closer inspection? The uncomfortable truth, my friends, is that the hiring process, far from being a pure meritocracy, is often a murky swamp of unconscious biases, systemic barriers, and plain old-fashioned favoritism. It's a system where who you know can sometimes matter more than what you know, where the right last name can open doors that remain firmly shut to others, and where even the most meticulously crafted resume can be lost in a sea of sameness. Consider, for instance, the prevalence of blind recruitment initiatives where personal details like names, ages, and even educational institutions are removed from applications in an attempt to eliminate bias. While well-intentioned, these efforts inadvertently reveal the deep-seated prejudices that permeate the hiring process. If we have to hide who we are to be judged solely on our merits, what does that say about the supposed fairness of the system? The reality is that hiring decisions, despite our best efforts, are often influenced by factors that have little to do with merit. Let's delve into the murky world of recruitment, beyond polished job descriptions and crafted resumes. Here we encounter unseen forces, subtle biases, and systemic barriers determining who gets hired. Imagine two identical candidates. One sails through the interview while the other struggles. The answer lies in unconscious bias, ingrained prejudices clouding our judgment. These biases, shaped by upbringing and media, manifest in hiring decisions. They favor candidates who remind them of themselves or attended prestigious universities. Unconscious bias operates invisibly, shaping perceptions without us realizing it. We assume our decisions are logical, but they are often tainted by prejudice. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, The unspoken truth that makes a mockery of meritocratic ideals, the power of networks. Ah yes, that intricate web of connections, acquaintances and familial ties that can often make or break a career, regardless of one's actual abilities. It's the old adage, isn't it? It's not what you know, but who you know. A cynical observation, perhaps, but one that rings all too true in the cutthroat world of professional advancement. Think about it. How often do we hear tales of job openings being filled before they're even advertised, of internal candidates being groomed for promotions long before external applications are even considered? It's the hidden job market, the realm of whispered recommendations, backroom deals, and the subtle exchange of favours. And while networking is often touted as an essential skill for career success, it's hard to deny that it can also create an uneven playing field, where those with connections have a distinct advantage over those without. Let's be clear. Networking in and of itself is not inherently nefarious. Building relationships, cultivating contacts, and seeking out mentors are all valuable endeavours. However, when networking becomes the primary pathway to professional advancement, when it trumps merit and overshadows genuine talent, then the system is clearly broken. Now, let's turn our attention to a glaring symptom of meritocracy's shortcomings: the persistent lack of diversity in leadership positions across various industries. Take a look around, my friends, at the boardrooms of Fortune 500 companies, the upper echelons of government agencies, and the prestigious halls of academia. What do you see? Often a disheartening homogeneity, a sea of sameness in terms of race, gender, and socio-economic background. If our workplaces were truly meritocratic, wouldn't we expect to see a greater representation of diverse voices and perspectives at the top? Shouldn't our leaders reflect the rich tapestry of our societies, with all its varied experiences, backgrounds, and viewpoints? The unfortunate reality is that systemic barriers, often deeply entrenched and perpetuated by unconscious bias, continue to impede the progress of women, people of colour, and individuals from marginalized communities. These barriers can take many forms, from discriminatory hiring practices and a lack of access to mentorship opportunities, to a pervasive culture of exclusion that makes it difficult for individuals from underrepresented groups to thrive and advance. The diversity deficit in leadership positions is not merely a social justice issue, it's a business imperative. Numerous studies have shown that diverse teams are more innovative, more adaptable, and more profitable. When we limit opportunities for advancement based on factors unrelated to merit, we stifle creativity, innovation, and ultimately organizational success. Power. That intoxicating elixir, that seductive whisper in the ears of those who crave control, influence, and the ability to shape the world according to their whims. But power, my friends, like a potent drug, can be intoxicating, addictive, and ultimately corrosive. Especially when it's not earned, when it's not grounded in merit, but in the shifting sands of privilege, connections, or sheer brute force. In the corridors of power, where decisions are made, careers are launched, and destinies are sealed, meritocracy often goes to die a slow and silent death. It's a place where the rules of the game are different, where sycophancy trumps substance, where loyalty to individuals matters more than competence or integrity, and where dissent is met with swift and brutal retribution. Imagine, if you will, a workplace where promotions are based not on performance reviews or demonstrated abilities, but on one's proximity to those in charge, on one's willingness to toe the line, to flatter egos, and to turn a blind eye to ethical transgressions. It's a toxic brew, my friends, a breeding ground for mediocrity, resentment, and a profound sense of injustice. Now, let's talk about a particularly insidious consequence of power dynamics run amok: the silencing effect. In workplaces where meritocracy is but a distant dream, where promotions are handed out like party favors to the chosen few, and where dissent is met with swift and ruthless retribution, a culture of fear takes root, choking the very lifeblood out of innovation, creativity and progress. Imagine, if you will, a team of talented individuals full of fresh ideas, innovative solutions, and a burning desire to make a real difference. But there's a problem. The team is led by an individual who ascended to their position not through merit, but through a toxic cocktail of connections, favoritism, or sheer intimidation. This leader, insecure in their unearned authority, surrounds themselves with yes men and women, individuals more interested in keeping their heads down and their jobs secure than in rocking the boat, even if it means sacrificing progress and innovation. In such an environment, my friends, speaking truth to power becomes an act of career suicide. Raising concerns, challenging the status quo, or suggesting alternative approaches, no matter how well-intentioned or potentially beneficial, are met with suspicion, hostility, or outright dismissal. The result? A slow and agonizing death of creativity, a stifling of innovation, and a descent into mediocrity. The very talents and skills that could have propelled the organization forward are wasted, their potential squandered in the name of preserving a power structure built on shaky foundations. Let's delve into the Peter Principle, coined by Lawrence J. Peter. It states that in a hierarchy, every employee rises to their level of incompetence. Promotions are often based on current performance, not future potential. Imagine a stellar salesperson promoted to management. They excel at sales but lack management skills. This leads to poor decisions and a demoralized team. The result? A cascade of incompetence. Now, let's shift our focus to another insidious consequence of a workplace devoid of meritocracy, the creation of an entitled and complacent workforce. When individuals are promoted, rewarded and retained based on factors other than their actual contributions, a dangerous sense of entitlement can take root, poisoning the well of motivation, innovation and accountability. Imagine, if you will, a workplace where certain individuals, by virtue of their connections, their last names, or their ability to play the political game, enjoy a protected status. They show up late, miss deadlines, and deliver subpar work, yet they face no real consequences. Their positions are secure, their paychecks are unaffected, and they continue to reap the rewards of a system that values patronage over performance. What message does this send to the rest of the workforce? What happens to those who strive for excellence, who put in the extra hours, who consistently deliver exceptional results, only to see their efforts overshadowed by the complacency and mediocrity of their entitled colleagues? The answer, my friends, is a toxic brew of resentment, demotivation, and a gradual erosion of the very values that drive success: hard work, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. Why bother going above and beyond, they ask themselves, when mediocrity is rewarded and accountability is but a distant rumor? The erosion of trust, a house divided. Now let's turn our attention to a fundamental element that crumbles in the absence of meritocracy: trust. Trust, my friends, is the bedrock of any successful organization. It's the invisible glue that binds individuals together, fostering collaboration, communication, and a shared sense of purpose. But when meritocracy is absent, when promotions are perceived as unfair, when rewards are distributed based on favoritism rather than merit, the very foundation of trust begins to crack and crumble. Imagine, if you will, a workplace where whispers of favoritism and backroom deals replace open communication and transparent decision-making. Imagine a culture where employees constantly question the motives behind promotions and rewards, suspecting that the system is rigged against them. In such an environment, my friends, a toxic cynicism takes root. Employees become disillusioned, their morale plummets, and their engagement with their work suffers. Why invest their time, energy and creativity in an organization that doesn't value them, that doesn't reward their efforts based on merit? Lost potential, stifled dreams, the human cost of an unjust system. Now, let's pause for a moment and reflect on the human cost of a system that fails to recognize and reward merit. The countless individuals whose talents are ignored, whose aspirations are stifled, and whose dreams are deferred, or worse, extinguished altogether. Imagine, if you will, a young, ambitious employee, full of potential and eager to make their mark on the world. They work tirelessly, consistently exceeding expectations, their ideas breathing fresh life into stagnant projects. Yet, despite their efforts, their contributions are overlooked, their talents overshadowed by those who have mastered the art of office politics or who enjoy the benefits of nepotism. Or picture a seasoned professional, their years of experience and hard-won expertise a testament to their dedication. They've witnessed firsthand the corrosive effects of favoritism and the demoralizing impact of a system that rewards mediocrity. Their passion wanes, their creativity stifled by a workplace that values connections over competence. These are not mere anecdotes, my friends, but all too common realities in organizations where meritocracy is absent. These are the stories of individuals who are denied the opportunity to reach their full potential, to contribute their unique talents, and to shape the world in meaningful ways. Beyond the bottom line, the societal impact of workplace injustice. Now, let's broaden our perspective and consider the far-reaching consequences of workplace injustice, the ripple effects that extend beyond the walls of individual organizations, impacting society as a whole. When meritocracy is absent in the workplace, when opportunities for advancement are determined by factors other than talent and hard work, we create a society where social mobility is stifled, where economic inequality widens, and where the American dream, the idea that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve success through hard work and determination, rings hollow. Imagine, if you will, a society where access to the best education, the most lucrative careers, and the highest echelons of power are reserved for a select few, those fortunate enough to be born into privilege or to have the right connections. Imagine a world where the circumstances of one's birth determine their destiny, where talent is wasted, and where the potential contributions of countless individuals are ignored. This, my friends, is the dangerous path we tread when we allow meritocracy to wither and die. It's a path that leads to social stratification, to a widening gap between the haves and the have-nots, and to a society riven by resentment, division, and a profound sense of unfairness. A call to action, reclaiming meritocracy, restoring balance. We've journeyed through the shadows of the modern workplace, my friends, exploring the insidious ways in which power dynamics, favoritism, and a lack of meritocracy can poison an organization, stifling talent, crushing morale, and ultimately hindering progress. But it doesn't have to be this way. We can choose a different path, one that embraces fairness, rewards hard work and talent, and creates a level playing field where everyone has the opportunity to succeed based on their merits. This is not a utopian dream, my friends, but a call to action. It's a call for leaders at all levels to examine their own biases, to create a culture of transparency and accountability, and to implement systems that reward performance over politics. It's a call for individuals to become champions of meritocracy, to speak up against injustice, and to support organizations that are committed to creating a fair and equitable workplace. Remember, my friends, the pursuit of meritocracy is not just about creating a more just and equitable workplace. It's about unleashing the full potential of our workforce, fostering innovation, and building a better future for all. Let's reclaim the promise of meritocracy together. The seductive allure of privilege. Privilege. That invisible hand that guides some towards the sunny uplands of success, while others struggle to navigate the treacherous ravines of disadvantage. It's a seductive mistress, privilege, whispering promises of effortless advancement, of doors swinging open with a well-placed phone call or a knowing nod from those in the know. But let us not be fooled by its alluring facade, my friends. For the path of privilege, while seemingly paved with gold, is often fraught with hidden dangers, both for the individual and for the very fabric of a just and equitable society. Imagine, if you will, a young professional fresh out of university, their head brimming with knowledge, their heart aflame with ambition. They send out countless resumes, endure grueling interviews, yet opportunity seems to elude their grasp. Meanwhile, their peers, armed with the right last names, the right connections forged at exclusive social gatherings, waltz into coveted positions, their qualifications seemingly secondary to the weight of their social currency. It's a disheartening reality, my friends, one that breeds cynicism, resentment, and a gnawing sense of injustice. Why bother striving for excellence, they ask themselves, when the game is rigged from the start? Shortcuts and dead ends, when connections trump qualifications. Now let's consider the long-term consequences of a system that prioritizes social capital over genuine merit, a system where connections become crutches, where individuals, accustomed to having doors opened for them, never develop the resilience, the work ethic, or the genuine skills necessary to thrive in the face of challenges. Imagine, if you will, an individual who has coasted through life on the strength of their connections, their rise to positions of authority paved with the bricks of privilege. They've never had to fight for a promotion, never had to prove their worth, never had to face the crucible of genuine competition. Now picture this individual facing a crisis, a situation that demands not just connections, but competence, decisiveness, and the ability to inspire confidence in those around them. Alas, their well-cultivated network of contacts proves woefully inadequate, their lack of genuine experience exposed for all to see. It's a recipe for disaster, my friends, both for the individual and for the organization they lead. Shortcuts, while tempting, often lead to dead ends, to spectacular falls from grace, and to the painful realization that true success is built on a foundation of hard work, dedication, and a genuine commitment to excellence, not on the shifting sands of privilege. Now let's explore the insidious ways in which a culture of cronyism, that insidious web of favors, connections and backroom deals, can permeate an organization, stifling innovation, rewarding mediocrity, and ultimately leading to stagnation and decline. Imagine, if you will, a workplace where promotions are seen as foregone conclusions, where key positions are filled not through open competition and a fair assessment of merit, but through a whispered network of recommendations, unspoken agreements, and the subtle exchange of favors. In such an environment, my friends, a dangerous complacency takes root. Those in positions of power, secure in the knowledge that their positions are protected by a web of loyalties, feel little incentive to innovate, to take risks, or to challenge the status quo. Why rock the boat, they reason, when the current is carrying them along quite comfortably? Meanwhile, those with fresh ideas, those eager to push boundaries and challenge conventional wisdom, find themselves hitting a wall of indifference, their suggestions dismissed, their talents overlooked. Why bother, they ask themselves, when the only path to advancement lies in currying favor with those in charge, rather than in contributing meaningful work? The consequences of prioritizing connections over competence are not confined to the sterile boardrooms of corporations or the hushed hallways of academia, my friends. No, this insidious virus can infect the very heart of our political systems, leading to governments riddled with unqualified individuals, more concerned with serving their own interests and those of their cronies than with the welfare of the people they are meant to represent. Imagine, if you will, a nation led by individuals who have ascended to positions of power not through their demonstrated abilities, their visionary leadership, or their unwavering commitment to the common good, but through a toxic combination of inherited privilege, political maneuvering, and the relentless pursuit of self-interest. Policies are enacted not based on sound judgment or a genuine understanding of the complex issues at hand, but on the whims of special interest groups, the demands of wealthy donors, and the desire to consolidate power and enrich oneself at the expense of the common good. The results, my friends, are all too familiar. Corruption flourishes, public trust erodes, and the very institutions that are meant to serve the people become instruments of self-enrichment and oppression. Now let's consider the corrosive impact of cronyism on a fundamental pillar of a functioning society: public trust. When individuals perceive that the systems that govern their lives, from the workplace to the political arena, are rigged in favour of the privileged few, a dangerous cynicism takes root, eroding faith in institutions and fueling a sense of disillusionment and despair. Imagine, if you will, a society where access to the best education, the most lucrative careers, and even justice itself seems to hinge on who you know rather than what you know or the content of your character. Imagine a world where hard work and talent, while lauded in speeches and self-help books, seem to carry little weight in the face of entrenched privilege, and a system that rewards connections over competence. In such an environment, my friends, a toxic cynicism festers. Individuals become disillusioned with the political process, jaded by the seemingly insurmountable advantages enjoyed by the elite, and skeptical of the very notion of a level playing field. Why bother playing by the rules, they ask themselves, when the game is clearly rigged against them? We've delved into the shadowy depths of cronyism, my friends, exposing its corrosive effects on individuals, organizations, and society as a whole. But let us not succumb to despair, for we have the power to break this vicious cycle, to create a world where merit trumps privilege, where opportunities are available to all, and where the promise of a level playing field is more than just a hollow slogan. This is not a task for the faint of heart, my friends. It requires a fundamental shift in our values, a rejection of the seductive allure of shortcuts and easy answers, and a commitment to building a future where success is determined not by the circumstances of one's birth, but by the content of one's character and the fruits of one's labour. It begins with each of us, my friends. It begins with a commitment to fairness and transparency in our own lives, to judging individuals based on their merits, not their connections. It begins with a willingness to speak out against injustice, to challenge systems that perpetuate inequality, and to demand better from our leaders and institutions. While we strive to dismantle the structures of privilege and create a more equitable world, we must also acknowledge the very real challenges faced by those who lack the advantages of connections and social capital. It's all very well to extol the virtues of hard work and merit, but what about those who have been denied access to the very networks and opportunities that often serve as stepping stones to success? This is where the transformative power of mentorship comes into play, my friends. Imagine, if you will, a young professional brimming with potential, yet lacking the guidance, the connections, and the insider knowledge necessary to navigate the often opaque world of their chosen field. Now picture this individual being taken under the wing of a seasoned professional, someone who has not only achieved success in their own right, but who is also committed to paying it forward, to sharing their knowledge, their network, and their experience with those who are just starting out. This, my friends, is the essence of mentorship. A beacon of hope in a world that can often seem daunting and unfair. A lifeline for those who have been denied access to the privileges enjoyed by others. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The concept that often leaves a bad taste in the mouth: networking. Yes, that often dreaded activity associated with awkward social gatherings, forced pleasantries, and the relentless pursuit of self-interest. But what if we reimagined networking, my friends? What if we stripped away the layers of cynicism, the transactional nature of it all, and approached it with a spirit of generosity, a desire to connect with others not just for what we can gain, but for what we can contribute? Imagine, if you will, a world where networking is less about collecting business cards and LinkedIn connections, and more about building genuine relationships based on mutual respect, shared values, and a desire to support each other's growth and success. Imagine a world where we view networking not as a necessary evil, but as an opportunity to expand our horizons, to learn from others, to offer our own expertise and experience, and to create a web of support that extends far beyond the transactional nature of traditional networking. The world of work, my friends, is not static but rather a fluid, ever-evolving landscape shaped by forces both visible and unseen. And like any dynamic system, it is constantly adapting, responding to the ebb and flow of technological advancements, shifting economic realities, and the evolving values of the society it serves. We stand now at the cusp of a new era, a time of profound transformation in the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. The digital revolution, that relentless tide of innovation, continues to reshape our lives at an unprecedented pace, blurring the lines between the physical and the digital, the local and the global. The workplace, that once familiar terrain of offices, factories and clearly defined hierarchies, is undergoing a metamorphosis, its boundaries becoming increasingly porous, its structures more fluid, its very definition called into question. The old certainties, the well-worn paths to success, are fading into obsolescence, replaced by a landscape that demands adaptability, resilience, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. The future of work is here, my friends, and it belongs to those who are prepared to navigate its complexities, to embrace its challenges, and to seize the opportunities it presents. Now, let's confront one of the most pressing questions facing the future of work: the rise of automation and its implications for the hiring process. As artificial intelligence and machine learning become increasingly sophisticated, their tendrils are reaching into every aspect of our lives, including the once human domain of recruitment. Imagine, if you will, a world where algorithms, not HR professionals, sift through mountains of resumes, their digital eyes scanning for keywords, their artificial minds assessing candidates based on pre-programmed criteria. Imagine interviews conducted not by humans, but by chatbots, their digital voices probing for specific answers, their algorithms analysing not just your words, but your tone of voice, your facial expressions, even your micro-expressions, in a relentless quest for objective data. On the surface, this brave new world of automated hiring promises much greater efficiency, reduced bias, and a level playing field where all candidates are evaluated solely on their merits, stripped bare of any subjective human judgment. But is it really that simple, my friends? Can we truly outsource such a fundamentally human process to machines, to algorithms that, for all their sophistication, lack the empathy, the intuition, and the understanding of context that characterize human judgment? While the march of automation continues unabated, let us not forget the enduring importance of the human element in the hiring process. For despite their computational prowess, algorithms can only operate within the parameters set by their human creators. They can analyze data, identify patterns, and make predictions based on past trends. But they lack the capacity for true understanding, for empathy, for the ability to see beyond the numbers and recognize the unique spark of potential that resides within each individual. Imagine, if you will, two candidates with identical qualifications. Their resume is a perfect match for the algorithm's criteria. On paper, they are indistinguishable, perfect specimens of professional competence. Yet, during an interview, one candidate lights up the room, their passion palpable, their insights fresh and insightful, their very presence exuding a contagious energy that algorithms, for all their sophistication, cannot quantify or comprehend. It is in these intangible qualities, my friends, in the realm of human connection, emotional intelligence and shared values that true potential often reveals itself. And it is here, in the subtle dance of human interaction, that the limitations of a purely data-driven approach become glaringly apparent. Now let's turn our attention to a seismic shift in the world of work, one that is upending traditional hiring practices and forcing organizations to rethink their approach to talent acquisition, the rise of the gig economy. No longer content with the confines of traditional employment, more and more individuals are embracing the flexibility, autonomy, and project-based nature of freelance work. They are becoming free agents, offering their skills and expertise to a global marketplace of potential clients, their loyalty shifting from companies to projects, their careers becoming a patchwork of diverse experiences. For organizations, this shift presents both challenges and opportunities. On the one hand, the traditional model of hiring full-time employees for fixed roles is becoming increasingly untenable in a world where agility, adaptability, and specialized skills are paramount. On the other hand, the gig economy offers access to a vast and diverse talent pool, a global network of skilled professionals who can be tapped on demand, their expertise deployed precisely when and where it is needed. The winds of change, my friends, are also shaking the very foundations of the traditional education system and its role in preparing individuals for the workforce. For decades, university degrees have served as the gold standard, the gatekeepers to a world of professional opportunities. But in the digital age, where knowledge is constantly evolving, skills become obsolete at an alarming rate. And the ability to learn, adapt, and acquire new skills is paramount. The value of a traditional degree is being called into question. Imagine, if you will, a world where hiring decisions are based not on the prestige of the university attended or the length of one's resume, but on the demonstrable skills, the practical abilities, and the portfolio of work that showcases an individual's true capabilities. This, my friends, is the essence of skills-based hiring. A shift away from the tyranny of credentials and towards a more meritocratic system that values what you can do over where you learned it. The digital revolution, my friends, has not only transformed the way we work, but it has also dissolved the geographical boundaries that once constrained the search for talent. The world is now our oyster, a global marketplace where organizations can tap into a vast and diverse pool of skilled professionals regardless of their location. Imagine, if you will, a world where the best and brightest minds, regardless of their nationality, their language, or their cultural background, can collaborate seamlessly on projects that transcend borders. Their collective intelligence harnessed to solve complex problems and drive innovation on a global scale. This, my friends, is the promise of the global talent pool. A world where diversity is not merely a box to be ticked, but a strategic imperative, where the ability to attract, retain, and manage a globally dispersed workforce becomes a key competitive advantage. The rise of remote work, redefining the boundaries of the workplace. The traditional workplace, that once familiar terrain of cubicles, water coolers, and face-to-face interactions, is undergoing a profound transformation. Its boundaries are becoming increasingly blurred as remote work emerges as a viable and, for many, preferable alternative. Imagine, if you will, a world where the daily commute becomes a relic of the past, where individuals can work from the comfort of their own homes, from co-working spaces, from cafes, or even from exotic beaches. Their productivity no longer tethered to a specific location. This, my friends, is the allure of remote work. A world where individuals can achieve a greater sense of work-life balance, where organizations can reduce overhead costs and tap into a wider talent pool, and where the very definition of a workplace is redefined. Navigating the future of work adaptability, resilience, and a commitment to lifelong learning. We've embarked on a journey, my friends, through the ever-evolving landscape of the modern workplace, exploring the challenges and opportunities presented by automation, the gig economy, the globalization of talent, and the rise of remote work. The future of work, as we've seen, is a complex and rapidly changing terrain, one that demands adaptability, resilience, and a commitment to lifelong learning. The old certainties, the well-worn paths to success, are fading into obsolescence, replaced by a need for agility, creativity, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. But fear not, my friends, for within this uncertainty lies immense opportunity. The future of work belongs not to those who cling to the past, but to those who embrace change, who cultivate a growth mindset, and who are willing to adapt their skills and perspectives to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving world. Charting your course, navigating the meritocratic path to success. We've journeyed together, you and I, through the labyrinthine corridors of the modern workplace, shining a light on the often murky realities of meritocracy, or rather the lack thereof. We've confronted uncomfortable truths about power dynamics, the allure of privilege, and the systemic barriers that often impede the progress of even the most talented and hard-working individuals. But let us not succumb to cynicism, my friends, for within this complex and often frustrating landscape, opportunities for success abound. The key, as with any challenging voyage, lies in charting a wise course, one guided by a clear understanding of the terrain, a willingness to adapt to changing winds, and an unwavering belief in your own ability to navigate the choppy waters ahead. Remember, my friends, while we cannot control the systems we inherit, we are not powerless pawns in a game rigged against us. We have agency, we have choice, and we have the power to shape our own destinies, even within the constraints of imperfect systems. The power of you, unleashing your potential and owning your value. Now let's talk about the most powerful tool at your disposal, the one asset that no amount of privilege or connections can replicate: you. Your skills, your talents, your unique perspective, your unwavering determination. These are the ingredients of true success, the building blocks of a fulfilling and impactful career. The first step, my friends, is to own your value. Recognize that you have something unique to offer, a combination of skills, experiences, and perspectives that sets you apart from the crowd. Don't be afraid to articulate your worth, to advocate for your ideas, and to seek out opportunities that align with your passions and aspirations. Next, embrace the power of continuous learning. The world of work is in a state of perpetual evolution, and those who thrive are those who are constantly adapting, upskilling, and expanding their knowledge base. Never stop learning, my friends. Embrace new technologies, seek out mentors, and be a voracious consumer of information. And finally, remember the importance of strategic networking. While we've decried the pitfalls of cronyism, building genuine relationships based on mutual respect and shared values is essential for career growth. Seek out mentors who inspire you, connect with peers who challenge you, and be generous with your own knowledge and experience. As we draw to a close, my friends, let us remember the key takeaways from our exploration of meritocracy in the modern workforce. The world of work is not always fair, but it is full of opportunity. Don't allow cynicism or disillusionment to dim your ambition. True success is built on a foundation of hard work, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. Embrace these values and let them guide your path. Never underestimate the power of your own potential. Invest in yourself, cultivate your skills, and never stop learning and growing. Seek out mentors, build genuine relationships, and become an active participant in your career journey. You are not alone in this endeavor. And if you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of how to navigate this complex landscape, remember that Mjoga Coaching and Consulting is here to guide you. We offer personalized coaching, career strategy sessions, and a supportive community to help you unlock your full potential and achieve your career aspirations. Take charge of your destiny, my friends. Book your complimentary career breakthrough. Call with Mjoga Coaching and Consulting today. Let us help you turn your career aspirations into a reality. Remember, the only limits to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt.